such a beautiful day. Good morning, Grenada, Carrico, PG, Martinique. Hold on, let me get an accent. Good morning, Grenada, Carrico, and PG Martinique. It is Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. Thank you so much for tuning in to Good Morning, Grenada. Always a pleasure to have you. A pleasure that you're tuning in to us. Appreciate your viewership, your listenership, and your time. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Those of you joining us on the GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel is back up and running. Thank you so much to the viewers on the platform. Those of you joining us on the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV, channels 7, 11, and 20. Good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7, and to the folks joining us on the Go To Fit and Party Grenada Facebook pages and Party Grenada's website. Good morning. Oh, they like the accent? Oh, they like the voice? I might have a new radio voice. I doubt I could keep it up. Let's hear your thing next time. Anyway, all in bless up all your whole self. Thank you for tuning in to the folks across the region, whichever part of the Caribbean you are. A spicy 473 Grenadian morning to each and every one of you. And to the folks joining us internationally, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. Let's do this. It's time for this morning's word of the day on this tantalizing, terrific, tremendously stupendous Tuesday. Oh gosh, I come through the adjectives. It's a good day to have a good day. Let's see what's this morning's word of the day. This morning's word of the day is lickety split. Lickety split. Yep, it's actually a word. It's a hyphenated word, a double barrel word. Lickety split. It's spelled Lickety dash or hyphen split. Lickety split. It's an adverb which means at great speed or rapidly. Lickety split. The adverb was originally and remains mostly a colloquialism. The origin of lickety is fanciful, an extension of lick, which means to move quickly or run at full speed. And split means fraction, as in a split second. Lickety split entered English in the first half of the 19th century. That's the word of the day, lickety split. Lickety dash split. It's an adverb which means at great speed or rapidly. An example of the use of the word: you will pay very little and your coffee, pancakes, or waffles will arrive lickety split on your red checkered tablecloth. Another example of the use of the word: I happened to look around and good night, there was an automobile coming along lickety split about a quarter of a mile behind us. The word of the day this morning is a double barrel word, lickety split. Lickety dash split, an adverb which means at great speed or rapidly. Lickety split or lickety split. That sounds like a cartoon word, innit? As you go about your terrific, tremendously stupendous Tuesday, the thought of the day is: if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Don't always wait for things to come and meet you on your doorstep. Don't always wait for things to happen. Sometimes you just have to set the platform, set the stage, set it up right that it can happen. You play your part. So if you're waiting on something to happen, you're waiting on yourself to receive something, don't wait for it. Build a door. Build a door so opportunity would have something to knock at. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Let's see what is celebrated today, March 16th, 2021. Today is somebody's birthday. I mean, I know it's somebody's birthday, but somebody that I know. 16th of the date rings in my mind. I will remember just now. All right, let's see. Today it is World Social Work Day. Yesterday we had the president and the Grenada Association of Professional Social Workers as we prepared to celebrate Social Work Day today. It is celebrated on the third Tuesday in March and recognizes the hard work and dedication of social workers. A global organization of social workers comes together for social justice, human rights, and social development, all through the promotion of best practices in social work. Social workers serve many roles in their communities. They assess their clients' needs and challenges, and as advocates, they speak week for their clients, getting them access to the resources they need to improve their lives. Social workers also respond to crisis situations. So today we recognize the people who do social work across the Tri-Island. Those of you known, those of you unknown, those of you who want more recognition, those of you who are just comfortable, whatever part you play in the social work world, good morning to you and happy Social Work Day. Those of you who work with the elderly, children, members of the disabled community, whichever part of the world that you work in as social workers, bless up your whole self. I know it's a tough job to deal with, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for the job that you do. Happy Social Work Day. I don't know how to tell all it to celebrate it. I wonder, boy. Maybe get an extra client. I don't know. I really don't know how to tell all it to celebrate World Social Work Day. If I think of something, I'll let you know. But have yourselves a good day today on World Social Work Day. All right. Oh, which reminds me, the theme for Social Work Day, I like it. Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. I like it. Ubuntu. I am because we are. So bless up all your whole. All right, let's see. Information time. Okay, so for the folks who are still thinking about getting vaccinated and have not done so as yet, the Ministry of Health has made it available, the information available as to where you can get vaccinated or where you can get vaxxed, as the slogan goes. There are vaccination sites set up at the Esplanade Mall in St. George's. The Radisson Grandans, the vaccination program continues there as well. And there are also sites set up at all health centers across Grenada and Carriacou, according to the information from the Ministry of Health. Those sites will be operating 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you want to get vaccinated and you haven't done so as yet, the program continues at least for this week up until the 19th, which is on Friday, God willing. Esplanade Mall in St. George's, Radisson Grand Beach at Grandans, and all health centers across Grenada and Carriacou, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. if you want to get vaccinated. So keep that in mind as you go about your day. Maybe just run in from the responses that I've been getting and I've been hearing. It's not a long process. You could be in and out depending on the traffic, the people traffic. You could be in and out of the site in maybe about an hour, maybe 2 hours. I haven't gotten any reports of longer than 2.5, 3 hours. That's taking into consideration the line, waiting your turn, and just getting the jab is a very short process. So if you have an hour or so to spare today and you want to get vaccinated, remember those sites: Esplanade Mall in St. George's, Radisson Grand Beach, all health centers, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. All right, now let's get ready for the morning edition of news. It's 15 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning, Grenada. For those of you on radio, it's a morning edition of news, and those of you on our visual platforms, highlights of last evening's newscast. Have yourselves a good day. Bless up your whole self. It's going to be a tremendously stupendous Tuesday. I like it. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Now, less than 2 weeks after one cement truck belonging to Kenny's Trucking and Equipment Services encountered difficulties on the way to a project in Mount Egmont and capsizing another one, the company experienced similar problems on Monday. The accident happened in the Calavini area. One lady who did not want to be interviewed on camera told the GBN what she saw.
It is, I have experienced my day-to-day war. A truck, Kenny's trucking, right, was going down this way with oil concrete. And to me, it was experiencing some kind of problem. And it stood right by my window there, and it was sort of making a sort of a noise, grooving, and I was just searching for whatever. I don't know who was driving. And eventually, I heard a kind of go like, and a whoop in it, and eventually it started going. And next, what I experienced was a tumbling down there, and all when I screamed for the Lord and asked him please to save whoever in it. That was my experience of it. It was not a nice experience to notice that thing being tumbling, they just tumble over there, but I didn't even know what it touched, yes or no. And that was just all.
It was a close call for one Shanda Happy Hill resident who fell through a wooden bridge at the Dragon Bay, St. George 1 month ago. Now residents in the community are calling for swift remedial work on the bridge to prevent a serious accident. We hear from GBN's Chrislina John.
GBN was called to the Dragon Bay area by one resident on Monday to see the deplorable condition of a bridge used by residents in the community and visitors who frequent the beach. This bridge connects two villages, Dragon Bay, Molyneux, to Shanda in Happy Hill on the other side. One lady who does not wish to be identified said she was on her way to visit her friend when she had the most horrific experience, which left her drenched and helpless.
I was going over to visit my friend on the other side of the bay. I approached the bridge. I could see the water moving quite rapidly underneath. I could see the bridge wasn't in any good condition at all. So I thought, okay, I'll go carefully over it. But this time I decided, let me test each foot before I allowed my weight to go on the board, because I could see the board was in a very, very disrepaired state. So I put 1 foot forward and it seemed to hold my weight. So I then put all of my weight onto there and it was fine. I put my second foot forward testing the board and it seemed to hold my weight, but no sooner than I transferred all my weight, the whole thing went through and I went through with it.
She is thankful that she did not hurt herself and there were people close by to get her out. However, she is very disappointed that after 20 plus years, nothing has been done to that bridge in particular. Her husband told GBN it is better that it had happened to his wife than the Prime Minister's aged mother. He said that as MP for the area, he believes Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell should not allow the bridge to be in that condition.
And I'm thanking God it wasn't the Prime Minister's mother who goes down to the beach to bathe most mornings. She could have been walking on the bridge. Because if it was his mother who went through it, she would not have survived it. I thank God it's not her and it's my wife instead. My MP and as my Prime Minister, we should do something about the area and the bridge in this area. He should be doing something right now in this area. We're tired that nothing is being done for the people in the area where he's born and grew up like me.
Another young woman says she is scared for her children who uses the path as a shortcut to get to school.
As you see, it's in a terrible state. People has fell inside of it. It's unhealthy for my kids to pass in the morning to go to school. Also, when rain is coming, they can't pass. Actually, nobody can pass there when it's raining.
The expressions for safety came from a few other people in the neighborhood.
I actually don't use the bridge. I go around it because I know somebody fell through it. My neighbor actually about a month or so ago. So I know it's pretty dangerous. And I think it should get fixed.
I passed the wet. I must slip down to fall. So I realized they're a dangerous place. And every time I pass, they're going to see the piece of board in the middle, just see somebody fall there. So they're very dangerous. You don't take no chance there. So they're unfair. I will stop people from passing there or build a new bridge.
Selena John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, Dudley Antoine is the director on the board for BIDA, the Bush-Eju Environmental Development Association, and he says he was not aware that anyone fell through the bridge. He said they are in the planning stages. However, work should begin on the bridge in the next month.
We're working to build a road, connect that bridge with the road up at Upper Molyneux and Shanda. As far as that bridge is concerned, everything is in place. We know that within a month or two, progress will be made on that bridge.
Antoine said there is a side path that he established where people can use to access the bridge rather than going over the bridge.
As far as the application, I don't know. As I said, the engineers are working on it. I don't know, but I doubt if it would be ply, because ply is not variable. It would have to be some concrete or solid material other than ply, because ply eventually is going to go. So they have to do something that would lift the bridge, because there is a ravine that runs underneath there. They would have to lift it above the current level in order to get it where it's going.
Antoine told GBN that engineers from government departments are working with them on the project to enhance the bridge. The National Democratic Congress and supporters took to the streets of Lower Sauteurs on Sunday to protest the environmental impacts of the Sauteurs Breakwater project. Trelana Charles was on the scene and brings us this report.
People have lost their homes, their land, and their livelihood. We are calling for justice for the people of Mount Rodney, Mount Craven, Mount Alexander, and surrounding areas. Cause deep in Sauteurs, we do believe we must see the beaches someday.
No property taxes, full and immediate compensation for property owners, and immediate corrective measures were some of the demands made by demonstrators on Sunday as they protested against the damage done to Mount Craven, Mount Rodney, and surrounding areas as a result of the Sauteurs Breakwater project. The march began on the Sauteurs bus terminal and ended at the Mount Rodney beach, where members of the National Democratic Congress and concerned citizens, together with the affected communities, shared their concerns.
Because Sauteurs used to come up to that beach to live. That cannot happen anymore. And that is because of the inconsideration of our administration. We need to have a demand of the government that they take immediate remedial action to stem what is happening here. If the proper environmental study was done, they would have done something better. We have to continue this struggle to preserve and protect our heritage and our environment.
Leading the protest was interim leader of the NDC, Adrian Thomas, who, in an exclusive interview with GBN, said the Prime Minister's recent branding of protesters as armchair environmentalists will not prevent them from protesting important environmental issues.
What the Prime Minister is attempting to do is to divert attention from the main issues. It's very insulting for you to tell the Grenadian people that the people who are concerned about environmental issues to refer to them in this derogatory manner. He has done it in the past. He has referred to the hard-working nurses and doctors in the hospital as thieves. I don't go down that road. I think the Grenadian people deserve much better than that. And to hold the office of Prime Minister and that kind of language coming from your mouth, I think it's an insult, and he must check himself and apologize to the Grenadian people and the people who are concerned about the environment.
Thomas said there are many more demonstrations to come.
There are many other issues around the country that we will be dealing with, not only environmental issues, but we have some serious economic issues coming up that we'll also want to tackle. And you can look out for us in the coming future. Not too long from now, there will be more demonstrations in this country. We need to bring a lot of issues to the attention of the Grenadian people. They are dependent on us, and we will do just that.
We will believe we must be someday.
Trelana Charles, GBN News.
2 new cases of COVID-19. According to the Health Grenada dashboard, the cases are imported. However, no details about these latest cases were released. To date, the total cases of COVID-19 recorded in Grenada are 154, of which 76 were imported. 151 recovered, 2 active cases, and 1 death. 2 people remain in self-isolation, and there are 204 people in quarantine facilities. Grenada recorded its first case of COVID-19 on March 22nd, 2020. We're coming up close to that date this year. He has been very vocal in the fight for the 4% increase in salaries for public officers. Now he has stepped up from the role of first vice president of the Grenada Union of Teachers to the major role of president. GBN sought to find out from Jude Bartholomew how he would temper his passion for the teaching fraternity as he leads the oldest union in Grenada. Jared Joseph has this story.
the and gratuities is one of the major goals for President-elect of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Jude Bartholomew. He shared his plans with GBN during an exclusive interview on Tuesday.
To know that after you make all this sacrifice in your old age and you retire, you're going home empty-handed in poverty and you have to beg. That is not right. So this matter is in the court. What we observe is that it seems that this matter is kind of dead in the court and we need to give it life. And with Teacher Jude and our executive, we will have a strong voice in terms of to resurrect this pension issue in the court.
Bartholomew says teachers and other public officers can no longer be subjected to retiring into poverty.
The whole of Grenada need to cry out. Churches need to cry out for that injustice. Society, people, everybody need to cry out because the pension fight is not just for teachers and workers. We're laying that foundation for children to come. Your children, all right? My children. And that is the essence of the thing. If we don't rectify that, probably later on when we have departed and die or in our old age, our children now would have to struggle and take on that fight.
The President-elect is hoping to bring an end to contract work among teachers and by extension public officers via the regularization process.
You have a lot of teachers in the system, all right, who for many years, 16 years, 18 years, 15 years, 10 years, some people 7 years, who are permanently temporary. And this is unjust and unfair.
The 4% salary increase is the most burning issue for public sector unions currently. Bartholomew says the fight started by his predecessor, Marvin Andal, will continue under his presidency.
And what I want the nation to know, when we are negotiating this 3-year agreement, the government negotiating team wanted us to negotiate for 4 years. And they were saying to us, you never know if a disaster may occur. All right, so they wanted us to negotiate for 4 years. All right, but we just kept the 3-year cycle. So what would have happened? The government wanted us to even negotiate for our 4th year.
He reiterates teachers and other public servants continue to sacrifice daily while government is not even keeping its promise to pay.
The pension, why should we be fighting for that? So everything that is for the worker and for the teachers, government are pulling back on it. Our dark salary, again, which we work for, we have a collective bargaining agreement and we have a right to industrial action. And then the government now came and just dark our salary. We didn't get it back. There's another form of injustice.
The President-elect is calling on teachers to rally their support for current President Marvin Andal, the executive and the union as they go forward. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Meanwhile, President-elect Jude Bartholomew is responding to a recent circular sent by the Ministry of Education to teachers, principals, as well as the GUT. The Ministry of Education in the circular condemned the actions of teachers who it claimed have been walking off the job and remaining silent in the classroom. Bartholomew, in response, says he is not aware of such a situation, however, made mention of a recent action taken during the lunch period.
So every teacher has a right to their lunchtime. Lunchtime is 1 hour. All right, so as you very well said that during lunchtime, so outside during lunchtime after the school, probably by the road or what the case may be, expressing themselves, all right? So we also have freedom of expression during our constitution, all right? They give us a right to freedom of expression. So if during lunchtime the teachers are outside with their placards and such, they are just expressing certain feelings, and that was lunchtime, so nobody can say that they abandon the children during that time, because everybody are entitled to 1 hour of lunch, which is the teachers also.
The ministry says such acts contravene the Education Act and teachers' contract of employment.
I mean, it's sad to see, because there is some degree of silence in the class, that all of a sudden the ministry have to put out a document as such to say that to allow the nation that teachers are silent. There are times that you have to be silent. The children have to observe is a strategy. All right, so there are certain lessons and certain things that you're doing, the teachers are doing, and you want the children to hear songs. You want them to listen attentively, to be quiet, to hear the noise around you, to pick up certain things. Observation.
Past president of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Lyden Lewis, has given 3 decades of service to the teaching profession before his decision to step down in 2020. Mr. Lewis, welcome and thank you for joining us tonight as a panelist.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Mr. Lewis, you are no stranger to industrial actions. What's your take on the latest notice issued by the Ministry of Education warning teachers?
This is not new. The Ministry of Education has embarked on intimidation for as long as I can remember. Instead of helping to resolve the situation, they usually become high-handed in dealing with issues that relate to the union. They refuse to understand or to accept the fact that the union has a responsibility as a right to advance workers' cause. And what the union is currently fighting for is directly related to an unjust situation and the breaking of the law. So industrial action is an integral part of any trade union movement. So the ministry attempting to use high-handed measures against the teachers, it simply would not work. Teachers become more aggressive in their struggle when they are threatened or when they feel that there are attempts to intimidate them.
And would you say that the teachers were going against what regulations would be? Were they doing anything illegal by doing this protest action during those hours?
No, not at all. In fact, these protest actions, to me, are very mild at a mild stage. It could get worse, and I presume it would get worse in a not too distant future. I believe that what they're doing now is strategic. It means that it's working. It has a level of effectiveness, because if it were not, the ministry would not have responded in such a manner. So I think that it's been effective. I think it's within their right. The collective bargaining agreement signed by the union gives them the right to take industrial action at any time they have a dispute. They also have a right under the labor code to take the actions they seem necessary. The ministry needs to recognize that the rights conferred upon the union and its members. So I don't think they're doing anything out of sync with what a trade union does. And I believe that the ministry now should prepare.
Indeed.
For a move.
It seems that we're having a little bit of technical difficulty as we connect with Mr. Lydon Lewis. He was just commenting on the recent notice by the Ministry of Education. Mr. Lydon Lewis, thank you so much for being our guest tonight on GBN News. We apologize that we weren't able to complete that interview. We move on to we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Trelana Charles has been looking around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. Rumors circulating about the intent to condemn the Mont Rouge Road have been dismissed by officials from the Kimpton-Kiwana Bay Resort. VP for Construction Edward Lehman said the talks of the existing road becoming part of the resort's property and an alternative road being created for locals have never been part of the plan.
We've heard these claims. We do not know where they come from. There has never been a single construction plan showing that, so I am not aware where these rumors started, but I can emphatically state that the rumors are false. We will not be condemning this road whatsoever.
Our online audience were quick to share their opinions on the situation. Melvon asked, why are our leaders doing that to us? Talking to us on two sides of their mouth. Trevor added, there is always contention for every development in Grenada. There are a group that thinks it's their job to make sure NNP is never successful in delivering anything for Grenada so they can win elections. It's never about Grenada. You don't believe me? Show me one protest of any NDC project when they were in office. The sickening thing is they always act like they are the moral authority on everything in Grenada and is quick to point fingers, and they are 10 times as corrupt. Kate commented, I have watched with great interest the ongoing development of this project. From the first very impressive virtual signage, I was confused as to how the complex could work. The graphic design shows the complex, the swimming pools, and they appear to be on the beach. I could never work out how guests would get from their rooms and down onto the beach. Couldn't imagine anyone crossing what is a very busy road to access the beach. My concern has always been that the developers would use the road and incorporate it into the infrastructure of the complex. What's the saying? No smoke without fire. This used to be the Flamboyant Hotel and Owl Bar. It was always split with the rooms on one side of the road. The restaurant was on the other side by the beach. Guests would be transported with golf carts. What is the mystery? The road going up to Montrouge was in a terrible state and narrow. Any improvements would be a blessing. That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. If you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
I know I can't be the only person who just tried talking out of two sides of my mouth. That's a little difficult. Anyways, from the thought process to the visual impact, let's take a peek through the GBN ISA lens.
The Grenada Bus Association and friends are back at it again in tonight's ISA. On Sunday, March 14, 2021, the President, executive members, and other members of the Grenada Bus Owners Association partnered once again with the Royal Grenada Police Force, Soca Artist Job King, Minister of Transport Nolan Cox, members from other zones, and civilians from the south of the island to clean the Wall Street roundabout and surrounding areas and repaint all the road traffic signs. Kudos to the men on a job well done. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platform.
Sissons truly cares about your paint job. We give you the results you wish for. Sissons understands your needs and responds to it.
Get the finish you want with quality that is unmatched. Nothing compares to Sissons paint.
No matter your need at home or on that industrial project,
Sissons has the perfect color solution for you.
Sissons paints for good looks that last. Available at all major hardware retailers island-wide.
We are all essential in the fight against COVID-19.
At Courts, we're doing our part and we encourage you to stay at home, stay safe, and shop online at www.shopcourts.com.
For added convenience, our Courts online customers will receive free delivery and get up to 20% off televisions, appliances, and homewares. Plus, if you shop with Ready Finance, you will pay nothing down for 60 days. Now, you can stay home, shop online, and save.
Remember, do the essential. Wear a mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, stop the spread.
Every action we take impacts the lives of others around us. The Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative, GCPI, has been working with Grenadian organizations to impact communities directly. Giving back to communities we serve is fundamental to the way we do business. And every year, more lives are touched across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique in education, sports, health, infrastructure, social services, and beyond. Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs including Financial Literacy Quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso Program, Junior Cooperatives in Secondary Schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC Grants. The Credit Union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
see credit union. It's where you belong.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again. At Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product Detox Combo Pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
We understand it can be hard getting from the bus terminal to the Kirani James Athletic Stadium just to get your fresh fruits and veggies. But guess what? Your troubles are over. Enjoy a free bus shuttle from the bus terminal to the temporary market at the Kirani James Stadium
every Friday and Saturday until the end of March.
Let us buy local, eat local, and support our local market vendors.
Get Rubigas. Get cooking. Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas? Get Rubis, get going.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11, K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
You need to know about self-isolation. Stay home. If you are told to self-isolate, it means staying at home, not going to work, school, or other public places, and you should not have any visitors. Separate yourself. If you live with others, then you need to stay in a well-ventilated bedroom with the door shut. If you have to share a bathroom, then use it after everyone else. Don't share towels and toiletries, as this may put others at risk. Call ahead. If you develop symptoms such as a fever or cough, then seek advice first by calling the Ministry of Health's hotline at 538-4787 or 458-4787. Please do not show up at a medical center or hospital, as this may put others at risk. Take care with waste. If you test positive, your waste should be double bagged and disposed of separately. Create a buddy system. If you live on your own, you can plan with friends and family to check in with each other and run essential errands if one becomes sick. Once sick, they should leave groceries on the doorstep. Why it's important. COVID-19 causes a mild illness for 4 out of 5 persons. Self-isolating will help protect the older generation and those who may have underlying health problems from getting infected.
The Grenada Food and Nutrition Council remind you to boost your immune system and give yourself a fighting chance against COVID-19. Consume foods that are rich in and vegetables, for example, oranges, grapefruit, mandarin, lemon, spinach, cabbage, and tomatoes. Vitamin B6 and folic acid that is found in chicken, turkey, fish, grain foods like oats, bread, local provisions, dry beans, and peas. Another immune system booster is vitamin E, found in nuts, corn, sunflower or canola oils, and leafy vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and kale. Iron, zinc, and vitamin D are also important to strengthen your immunity. So try foods like lean meats, eggs, lentils, mackerel, tuna, and jacks. Our local spices, ginger, clove, and turmeric, among others, can help decrease inflammation and support the immune system. Remember to practice safe food handling. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, reminding you that a strong immune system is one of the best ways to fight COVID-19.
Greetings, this is Eugene Gattucci, and I'm inviting you to join me every Saturday morning from 10 to 12 on K105 starting March 20th as we bring you the brand new program, Grenada's Music to the World. We'll be featuring music from all genres by Grenadian artists at home and abroad. If you're a Grenadian artist and would like to get your music featured on the program, please send it to gmail.com. Celebrating our own Saturday mornings 10 to 12 Classic Radio beginning March 20th. See you then.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. 21 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Those of you who are just joining us, happy to have you. And those of you who stuck with us, thank you so much for your patience. And those of you who need to get to work for 8, you have less than 40 minutes to get there on time. So you should be already out the door or just about putting on your shoes to head on out. So thank you so much for joining us. Let's get into this morning's discussion. Before I introduce my guest this morning, it was last week, Tuesday, I believe it was. I think it was last week, Tuesday, when I interviewed the president of the Public Workers Union, Rachel Roberts. But because of the short time that we had the discussion, I invited her onto the program again this week, and we settled on this morning for her to appear. However, yesterday she sent me a message telling me that she would decline to come onto the program this morning because she does not want to be on the program on election day. Today is the election of the Public Workers Union, so she declined to come onto the program this morning, which is why she's not here. However, I have another candidate for the presidency of the Public Workers Union, Mr. Brian Grimes. It was about 2 weeks ago that I had one of the other candidates, Arthur Pear, and this morning is the third candidate for the position, Mr. Brian Grimes. So good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Sister Blossom. Good morning to everybody in Grenada, and particularly good morning to public officers who are going out today to exercise their rights.
That's right. It's election day for Public Workers Union. Hundreds are expected to turn out to cast their ballots. The 3 presidential candidates are Mr. Grimes, Arthur Pear, and the incumbent, the current president, Rachel Roberts. So, Brian, tell me about your campaign so far for the position. This is the second time that you're going up for the leadership of the Public Workers Union. How has the campaign been for 2021?
Yes, well, that's a very good question, because to me there are stark differences between the 2019 campaign and the 2021 campaign. The 2019 campaign was met with some, reservation as to my intentions and so forth. Some of the things I was saying, I was a bit ahead of my time in terms of people understanding where I was coming from. Some thought I was a bit presumptuous as a public relations officer to democratically challenge the president, Sister Rachel Roberts, and the things I said in terms of how we operate, leadership styles, and how it affects our wonderful organization, Public Workers Union. In 2021, the campaign places and interact with workers one-on-one. I get more warm responses in terms of they understand the message I am trying to deliver, they understand the vision I have for the organization. And in fact, I was met with smiles and good energy and embraces at many workplaces. Yes, so the 2021 campaign has been very solid.
You said there's a difference between the last campaign in 2019 when you first ran to this year, but what lessons did you pick up from 2019 in terms of how to go about this journey and ensure that you get the favor of the people?
Well, there aren't much differences in that. I think my message is similar, but it is how it is accepted. Because I always maintain my respect. I always maintain my integrity and truth in regard to matters of the union. But I think they are more receptive based on the observations over the last couple of years and the direction the Public Workers Union is headed at this point in time. Also, too, I have become even more wiser, even more mature as a man. And so I think that will redound in my favor in terms of my interaction with the workers and so forth. Yes.
One of the slogans that I've seen you using throughout this campaign is bringing value to your union dues. What spurred that slogan?
Well, I live union, I breathe union, I think union every single day. And in speaking to workers, I can tell you that many workers say to me, "Watch now, Brother Grimes, I tired of union, I just wish I could just stop pay union dues." So to me, the value of the union dues has gone down, has depreciated significantly in that it has not redounded to getting benefits and proper representation over the last few years. So I, as a contestant, as somebody who wants better for workers, I thought it best for my campaign slogan, basically, to be bringing back value to your union dues, because workers deserve a lot better than is taking place right now. For example, at the beginning of the year in January, I went to the media to speak about a long-standing issue I spoke about when I sat on the board from about 2017. And that issue is a matter of registration of workers. And I think, a matter of fact, I think you were the reporter that interviewed me at the end of 2017 election when you were at CC6.
Right.
And I spoke about one of the first things we have to undergo. That's 2017, is a mass registration drive. I was frustrated on the board in seeing that never happened. It translated to workers being disadvantaged in that years passed where they could not vote, years passed where they could not access that union care to get discount at various places. So as the year started, out of love for the workers, the organization, and a bit of frustration, I spoke about the registration drive that needs to happen for people to be, not previous years, but be able to go out and exercise their rights and vote, plus get that amazing benefit in these hard, croconius times, for lack of a better phrase, that they can get discounts at different places. I was pleased to see that within 2 weeks, the Public Workers Union went on a mass registration drive, and dozens, maybe hundreds of workers who were not registered before, they are registered now. And I'm hoping that they will use that opportunity to vote for transformation of the organization today, March 16th.
Over the years, the turnout at the polls to cast ballots, what do you think that has been like? And now with the registration drive, with more people actually coming on to sign on as members of the PW, how do you think that the difference in numbers will show up today?
Yes. Over the years, the turnout has been anemic, to be honest. We're talking about, we have approximately 3,000 members, approximately. And you would have, so what's that, 1/3. I think for our union to function adequately and at optimum level, we have to have at least 60% voting in elections to make the democratic process really, really effective. So based on this registration drive that the union has undertaken the last month or so, I'm hoping that a lot more people participate in the democratic process and we see a better turnout. In speaking to workers, many of them are chomping at the bit to cast their vote today. So if their words translate to action, we're supposed to see a higher voter turnout than previous years.
The last time you ran, 2019, it was just yourself against Ms. Roberts. This year you were going up against Ms. Roberts and Mr. Pear. How you think the dynamic would play out? Now the votes have to be divided in 3 instead of just 2.
It's going to be an interesting one. To be honest, I'm going to be frank. The candidacy of the brother surprised me in terms of how he spoke about the union and his involvement in the union and what he wants to do as compared to his personal life in private conversations with him. So it is a bit surprising. It is his choice to run, and he is just adding to the democratic process. So I think him intervening in the process or introducing himself in the process, it will just be a more interesting process. And it will give workers an opportunity to have even more candidates and more democracy. So all power to him.
Over the past, today's Tuesday, so I would say since over the weekend, I've seen little pockets of conversations. I put 2 and 2 together and got 63 and realized that they was kind of talking about you, Mr. Grimes, and your desire to become president of the PWU, and you are, I'm trying to remember, power hungry, and why is he running for presidency? How would you respond to that kind of vitriol that is being
said? Yeah, since 2019, I've been facing a lot of these hate speech from people. But I am not detracted because I have some haters, but I have many supporters. Actually, one of the leading publications in the island has taken it upon himself, particularly in 2019, to defame my character and so forth. But I brushed that off my shoulder and moved on because I know who I am, as a person, as a trade unionist, and those things that are being said of late. The passage of time has revealed that, and workers have revealed that, because over the period, workers have seen a consistency from me, a commitment, a passion that is unparalleled in the public service as far as trade unionism is concerned. If you go on my social media platform, 80% of the material that I post is related to workers' issues, the development of workers' rights, and things surrounding the trade union itself. Blossom, I grew up in the trade union, right? I started around the trade union in 2007. In 2009, I became the youth chair and had the privilege of sitting on the board amongst, veteran trade unionists like Sister Madonna Harford, Brother Adrian Francis, Brother Ray Roberts, the late Dr. Winston Thomas, and to learn from them. During that whole time, my period lasted as a youth chair from 2009 to 2013, where I learned a lot just sitting and observing leadership and coordination on the board. Then I placed myself for, national elections as the public relations officer. I was successful and subsequently won 2 more public relations officer for 3 terms in the Public Workers Union. And not just by title. I was an extremely active and vocal PRO. And I spoke on behalf of the workers, without fear or favor, and they appreciated that. As I said before, I had the privilege of serving under 3 presidents, Sister Madonna Harford, Brother Adrian C. Francis, and Sister Rachel Roberts. And in that, I saw at certain points, a gradual deterioration of the representation and the camaraderie on the board and in the public service in general. This is what caused me, this is what propelled me or fueled me to challenge democratically for the presidency in 2019. Like I say, maybe I was a bit ahead of my time in terms of my message, and it was not palatable to workers at the time. But I believe now they see and they understand what Brian Grimes was speaking about in 2019, and the vision is here. The 2021 vision is here, very, very clear vision. And today, I believe we are going to see transformation and a change. I trust that we will see a change for the better, because I do not have to prosecute and speak about the negatives about the union. They are self-evident in terms of participation, in terms of the benefits that have not been gained by our union, and in terms of division being shown in the public domain. This is hurting workers at this point in time. So I don't have to really, speak on it or expound on it, but I know they know what they have to do. And today is March 16th, and I believe that they will make the correct decision this day.
What are some of the concerns you're hearing from work and the kind of leadership that they desire?
That's a very good question, because in past elections, candidates would campaign on things like pension, which is extremely important and which will also be at the top of my list if and when given the opportunity to lead. Contract work, definitely, in trying to ensure, ensuring that people who have worked for umpteen years on a temporary status gets permanent. These things have always been regurgitated as recurrent decimals. But this year, I had to campaign on unity, because the festering disunity in the executive is on full display for the workers to see. And so I had to, if and when given the opportunity, I will bring the organization together. And it's something I know I'm capable of doing, because I sat under leadership and I saw what it took to bring people together. One, as a leader, one has to subdue the ego in the name of the organization. And even people who are so-called running against me, they have pledged privately and publicly their respect for me. So, Certainly, Brian Grimes leads the union in the next dispensation from 2021 to 2023. There will be more unity on the board, and it will transcend throughout the membership and the public service. I can guarantee that.
Somebody on WhatsApp is asking if you think the union leadership position should be term limited or of 2 terms, or if it should just go as long as a person or people want to go.
Wow. You see, that is a question that I have been faced with many times. And I think it has come about because of the wariness, can I be frank, of the current leadership, right? There is a wariness. I'm hearing, I want to put it in colloquial terms now, I'm tired of so-and-so, I'm tired of this kind of leader, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that. So because of that, the thought of term limits have been introduced. But the thing is, the term is only 2 years. And as was stated before, and as many people know, people like Lorette Clarkson, Sister Lorette Clarkson, deceased, God rest her soul, and Sister Madonna Harford, they served for over a decade, 5, 6, 7 terms. And no one complained about term limits. They just use the democratic process to put them back, or if needs be, remove them, or whatever the case is. They will not talk about term limits. So it is telling, and it is very, it is telling. I would just say it's telling that people are talking about term limits at this point in time. So that should tell you about the state of the current leadership of the Public Workers Union.
Another WhatsApp question. If you lose this contest, what's your next move and how will you view the results?
Well, I'm a GDSS boy, To win and be sporting, is easy to lose with a smile is hard, but yet to the sportsman, really, the game is its own reward. So I'm prepared for anything. 2019, I lost, and I was a bit disappointed, not necessarily in the loss, but the character assassination that surrounded that whole election process. So I just took not much time at all to just relax, reflect, and I was back on the hot love to do. Advocate for workers, speak on workers' issues, educate workers, inform workers, speak about trade unionism. And I did that, and workers noticed that I did that for basically the whole 2 years. The love, the commitment, the passion never left me despite the loss. And in 2021, I am being optimistic, and I hope that I get that endorsement. But if I lose, I will still be Brian Grant. I will still be that advocate. I cannot change my DNA.
Somebody's inquiring about the polling stations across the state. Do you have an idea of where those polling stations are?
The Public Workers Union we have a lot throughout the country, throughout the length and breadth of the country, including Carriacou. So yeah, West Coast, East Coast, wherever you can think about. What we have now is a system currently where returning officers, that's people with the ballot boxes, they are allocated certain geographical areas and they have to go through those areas in certain timelines, right? So one might be responsible for the West Coast and certain work areas. And when all of them, about 10 of them or so, go to all the workplaces at the requisite time, the boxes are gathered at the Public Workers Union headquarters where the ballots are checked and so forth. So returning officers, they bring around the boxes to the different places and so forth. And people who are disadvantaged in terms of maybe they didn't go to work, they can still go to a polling station close to where they live. As long as they produce an ID like the Public Workers Union ID, they can still vote, right? So the process is open and it's pretty effective at this point in time. And normally, based on our constitution, the results are supposed to be revealed on the very same day. So in years past, right now as we speak, the voting process has started. By 8 o'clock, we should know all the different candidates and who will lead the union for the next 2 years.
I think voting starts at 8, eh? Voting starts at 8.
Voting starts at 8, but we spoke because the candidates had to speak to the election committee. And I made a suggestion that certain places, such as probably the General Hospital, who have three shifts that it should start earlier. To get the shift that's going out from 7 in the morning. Imagine you work a whole night shift and you finish 7 in the morning, you have to wait around for a whole hour to vote. People are tired. So I suggested, for example, in that area that voting starts a little bit earlier to accommodate workers so that, they will not miss out on exercising their franchise. But generally across the board, it starts at 8 and finishes approximately 3:45 or 4 o'clock.
All right, let me ask this Facebook question before we go to the break. Somebody on Facebook is asking, it has been over 5 weeks since the industrial action has been going on for the 4% salary increase for public officers and teachers. If you were to win the election, what would you do differently, seeing that government is not listening or budging? And would you rule out civil disobedience as one of the actions to get government on per as we have seen in the bigger countries?
I would not say that the government is not budging. That is not true. Correct. There is ongoing conversation, particularly between the Grenada Union of Teachers and the Labor Commissioner or representatives from government. It is not true that the government is not budging. I think they are coming to their senses based on the efforts of all the unions in trying to make that happen. The last declaration I heard was payments on or before December. Previous to that, there was conversation about when we had the money. So there is a shift, and the actions of the workers is not all for naught. Unfortunately, what we are seeing is that there seems to be a unilateral push from the trade union movement in terms of, well, only teachers, people see that, only teachers, that's what workers say. So as leader, if and when elected, I'm trying to be optimistic here, there will be a more collaborative approach with the Grenada Union of Teachers. As it stands now, the TAU and the Public Workers Union negotiate together. But TAU only has the stake is smaller in that they only have about 30 or 40 workers in the public service, whereas the Public Workers Union has thousands as well as the GOT. So there will be a more collaborative approach, and certainly I will explore all options to make that 4% be paid as early as possible on behalf of workers.
On that note, Mr. Grimes, let's take a break and then we're going to come back and continue the discussion, speaking with PW presidential candidate Brian Grimes. Today's election day for the Public Workers Union. Good morning, Grenada. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again at Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product detox combo pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand-name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
We we are all essential in the fight against COVID-19.
At Courts, we're doing our part and we encourage you to stay at home, stay safe, and shop online at www.shopcourts.com.
For added convenience, our Courts online customers will receive free delivery and get up to 20% off televisions, appliances, and homewares. Plus, if you shop with Ready Finance, you will pay nothing down for 60 days. Now, you can stay home, shop online, and save.
Remember, do the essential. Wear a mask, wash your hands, stop the spread.
Feel good facts.
Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.
Feel good facts.
Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada, speaking with a presidential candidate for the PWU elections, Mr. Brian Grimes. Mr. Grimes, before I go on to the next question, a note on Facebook, one of the questions that I asked before the break in relation to civil disobedience. He didn't respond to that one. Would you rule out civil disobedience as one of the actions to get government to pay the 4%?
Of course, I said I will explore all options. Sitting at the table, civil disobedience. There are different instruments and tools that a trade union can use to get what is just for workers, and I will explore all. Regarding civil disobedience, what I see happening right now with our union in particular, not the other unions, there is disorganization. Protests are called out, and you have probably 10, 11 people, and I spoke about the fact that there are thousands in the public service. There is a reason for that. The shop steward mechanism and arm is dysfunctional at this point in time. So there has to be an implementation of all of this. And based on PW's constitution, 3 weeks after the national elections, all these arms, which is shop steward arm is one of them, have to be reignited and reestablished. So this is one of the things that I'll be looking to do going forward. But all options are on the table: negotiation, civil disobedience, collaboration, solidarity.
All right, let's get down to some toughness now. There's, I think, one comment on Facebook, could be two, and one on the WhatsApp questioning why you're campaigning on election day. Is it against the rules to share your plans on voting day? Do you see an issue with it?
No, it's a matter of interpretation by some. What I can say is this. Well, I saw other candidates get the opportunity to come on this wonderful program, Good Morning Grenada, and I was not, Sister Blossom didn't invite me, but I got a late invitation, and I cannot say no to Sister Blossom. It just happened to be on this day. So I'm taking the opportunity just to speak generally about issues. Doesn't necessarily have to do with campaign. What I can say, it's not against the rules, otherwise I would not entertain being here. I wouldn't do that and jeopardize my candidacy. In fact, the last election, many of the candidates on the very day were going to the police stations and spreading all sorts of things about other candidates and so forth, which I believe is unethical. So this morning session, this chatting with Sister Blossom and with the people, I don't think it has any negative effect, on the process, and it's not against any established rules of the Public Workers Union.
Understood. And the intention was to have both you and Ms. Roberts on the program, but she withdrew from the appearance. So, Mr. Grimes, is the available candidate here this morning. Another question on, let me see, was WhatsApp? On WhatsApp. Somebody's asking, why did you not contest for the position of public relations officer?
When this time around?
Yes, this time around.
Okay. I served as public relations officer for 3 terms, 6 years. And I contested for the position of president because there is a fundamental difference between the PRO and the president. The current public relations officer is somebody that I endorsed 2 years ago. I didn't think it fit because I think she's very capable as a PRO to challenge for that position. And one, the whole prospect of it. When I evaluate challenging for positions, I look at the organization and from top, I want to ensure, that the team is very strong, right? And me challenging for the PRO position against Sister Daisy, I didn't see that fitting. In addition to that, I believe my position that I'm best suited for at this time in terms of my experience, in terms of my drive, in terms of my vision, it's for leadership because I want to implement certain things. I was handcuffed a little bit being a public relations officer in that there were things I wanted to do and I couldn't do it on behalf of workers and the development of the organization. One of the things I spoke about earlier in our broadcast and conversation is the mass registration drive. It is unfortunate that this registration drive basically happened a month or so before election or a month and a half before election where some were left out. Now, if this was done earlier, more people would have been captured and registered to get their full benefits, right? So these are some of the things that, I will implement and ensure that there is continuity and there is not inactivity during the whole 2-year process.
Facebook. What? No, stop. Where did the question go? Right. It is said in some circles that you are put there by the NNP to control the union.
I have to laugh. Initially, in 2019, when that rumor came out, because I said there was a lot of hate speech towards me and a lot of rumors, I laughed. Unfortunately, some people believe. Currently, when I get that question, honestly, I do take offense because the most important thing to me is my integrity. I will never sell it out for anything or anybody. So when people ask me that question, I get a bit offended. But the fact is, when you're in public service, you have to be rough and tumble at times and face face scrutiny and face the tough questions, as you said earlier. So I can just say with full reassurance that Brian Grimes has not been planted by the new national. I have opposition elements from both parties, the NNP and the NDC, because I am an independent thinker, right? There are people from both sides of the fence that cannot so-called stand Brian Grimes because he is an independent thinker and his focus is on nationalism and trade unionism. I will not be used. I will only be a servant leader for the forward movement of trade unionism and workers' development in this country. I cannot be bought off by any political organization. My intentions are pure. That I can assure you.
A WhatsApp question. Former President General of Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union, Chester Humphrey, said the unions go about the wrong way and should take government's approach. Do you agree with Mr. Humphrey on the stance he is taking against the unions about now is not the time, government doesn't have the money at this time?
Well, I hear Senator Humphrey. I hear him. I certainly do not agree with him. He has to speak on behalf of the government that he represents. Based on my interpretation of the organizational structure of the government, I think he's the third highest figure as president of the Senate. I stand corrected on that. So what do you think he will say? This is a gentleman that has done the industrial actions that are taking place now pales in comparison to the adventures of Senator Humphrey in his heyday. So to say that the timing is wrong, he based on examining history, he shut down airports during periods of Carnival, Christmas, and so forth. So it's ironic that he's saying the timing is wrong. Why I disagree with what he's saying fundamentally is because the government, and I want to use a word here, obscenely and quickly found 160 million EC dollars, taxpayers' money, to give to a foreign company, Grenada, a well-functioning one, and purchase, in my humble opinion, a liability. Public officers saw that in the same space, that $2.5 million was owing to them for illegally docked salaries. Public officers saw that in the same space, knowing that the 4% application would only cost the government $13 million in addition, right? 13 million, 160 million. Now, to argue bold-facedly that this is the wrong time in the same space that this money was delivered to a foreign company that left our shores, and monies that should be given to public officers to improve the economy and for them to maintain the standard of living is ill-timed, I think respectfully that it is disingenuous. So that is my take on it.
Brian, thank you so much. We're quickly out of time. Voting starts in 2.5 minutes. In other polling stations. Bless up your whole self. Good luck today. Any final thoughts? 30 seconds.
Yes, well, I would just like to encourage workers to go out there and vote. You know, I fought for you. I fought for many workers who are on the outside in terms of registration to get that opportunity to vote today so the democratic process can be fair as possible. And understand the trajectory of your union at this point in time. It's on a downward trajectory. Use the opportunity to elect a long-standing, committed soldier of the labor movement in Brian Grimes so that the next 2 years can be filled with activity and genuine representation as opposed to seasonal representation around election time. A leader ought not to work hard in campaigning versus in the period that they were elected. The period they were elected is supposed to be the period where more activity, more work is done as opposed to heavy campaigning. This is my take. So you will not get seasonal representation with me. You will get committed and continuous representation. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity. Between me and you, I find the time fly fast, but pleasant good morning to Grenada and everybody in the Tri-Island State. Have a beautiful and productive day. So thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. Thank you so much. Good luck today. Let's see how the results come out at the end of today, hopefully. Enjoy.
Yes. All right.
The election day of the Public Workers Union voting at the hospital started at 7 a.m. The rest of public workers start to vote at 8 a.m. 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., which is in just about 1 minute. As far as I understand, the polling boxes will be brought to different locations about the island for public workers to cast their ballots. So let's see how the results go out today. Good luck to all the candidates. The presidential candidates, Arthur Pear, Rachel Roberts, and Brian Grimes. Let's see what happens by the end of voting today. It's now time to join the BBC for the 8 a.m. newscast. Have yourselves a safe and productive Tuesday. Safe and productive Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.